Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. We have Noah back with Optimum, and we've got some new products. I've been trying them. They're fantastic. Noah, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you, Mike?
Very good, very good. I got a little bit of snow coming down, but we love it. It's beautiful.
That's awesome, man. It's so funny. I've literally been at the beach all day today. I don't think it could be any hotter here in Florida. So,
Oh, really? Wow.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
So we got a little, it's coming down from the Bering Sea, little unusual cold front. So we get a little bit of snow with it. So it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. A little
Very
bit
cool.
from Florida right now.
Yeah. I'm definitely feeling the sun, the love from the sun today. So it's great.
Good.
It's awesome. Yeah.
And no hurricanes this year. That's been pretty amazing, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's my first year down here too. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but
yeah, maybe you're pushing them out. That's good.
Yeah. Hey, stay in the low vibration, right?
That's it, man. That's it. Good job.
Yeah, dude, for sure. So yeah, no, it's an honor and a pleasure to be back on. I hope everybody at home's doing well and enjoying their Columbus Day. We're going to get into some really cool stuff that we've got prepared. So anybody who's seen our shows, especially the last show we did, I talked a lot about peptides, which, kind of making a name for myself now with your show, Mike. So thank you for that. And a lot of people have reached out to me and, of course, been trying out our last peptide product we launched, which was the BPC 157. And people are having some really awesome effects from that. I know, Mike.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Rapid healing, and it's been great. I love it.
That's awesome to hear, Mike. Thank you.
And then the new one, which I joked with you last time, I was like, now if you could come up with something like human growth hormone, then you'd really be kicking it. And you're like, well, we actually do. And I've been trying it, and it is pretty amazing.
Wow, Michael. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. So obviously I had the first dibs on trying out this. It's a full comprehensive formula, which we'll get into, of course. But I did have first dibs on trying it out myself. And wow, honestly. So I've been trying just the it's called MK677 for people who don't know. It's the world's first and only orally available growth hormone peptide. So it helps to naturally raise your levels, unlike injections, what injections do. And it doesn't disrupt your body's natural rhythms either. So over time, you don't see any sort of side effects or tolerance issues or anything like that. It's really wonderful. So, but anyways, I started out using it, and wow. So for me, I'm familiar with the effects of, well, firstly, what it's like to be on a peptide, but also a growth hormone peptide specifically. And so for me, almost within 5 to 10 minutes, it's pretty unbelievable. But honestly, now I know that I'm not the only person, which I'll get into as well. But almost, like I said, 5 minutes in, it's like my brain turns on, my thoughts are faster, more clear, feel much more clear-headed, clear-minded, a lot more clairvoyant, I'll say, too. I feel like it definitely helps to elevate my intuitive capabilities as well. So pretty profound effects.
Very, very nice. But, bodybuilders have been using human growth hormone injectable for a long time, along with steroids. And that's how they get those ridiculously massive shapes that are just like not normal by any stretch of the imagination. But, that's what people want to see. Now, for us, having nice, musculature and so forth, turning back the clock for some of us that are a little bit older. And it's not just for muscle. I mean, bone density, your everything. So it's definitely helping, I think, a lot of people, and will be helping a lot of people going forward.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. Very well put. Well said. And I think that's exactly what this product is hopefully going to do for a lot of people. That's really the goal with it, is to help to restore growth hormone levels to those of, say, a 20-year-old, or a 25-year-old like myself, hopefully turning back the clock, like you said, so beautifully well put. And the MK677 has been shown to do that timelessly. There's studies all the way back to the 90s, which, funny enough, like you mentioned, it's actually when a lot of the bodybuilders, late 80s going into the 90s, from my research, start picking up the growth hormone, which is so funny. But at the same time, they had no idea that there was this crazy cool peptide being created at the time that would surpass the effects of taking an injection unsurmountably and actually have lasting effects all day. Meaning you take this pill once per day and you actually have growth hormone benefits over the next 24 hours, which is incredible. And the effects are profound. We're seeing this already.
So yeah, you said you have several people that are giving you feedback. I mean, my feedback is good. I put something in my body and I know if it's working or not. And I can tell you that I'm looking forward to using this over time. It's definitely having an effect already.
Wow, that's great to hear, Mike. Yeah, I know you guys got your hands on them. I want to say last would have been probably Friday, if that sounds about right. I'm not exactly sure, but
Thursday, I believe we got it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that, Tracy. So yeah, I already had one of our customers who's actually a mature woman herself, and she, unbeknownst to me, has been sober completely for her entire life. Never drank, never smoked, never did any drugs, anything like that. And she texted me. She has my personal number, and she said, "No, I'm feeling something. I can't put my finger on it." And sure enough, we got on the phone yesterday. And if she's watching this, hopefully Carol, she knows. But I asked her ahead of time if it'd be okay. But Carol took the product for 2 days, and during those 2 days, which I told her, and we'll get into more so the dosing protocol, but she took it for 2 days and literally felt like it turned her brain on. So, I mean, that's incredible alone. And of course, I've already hit on the fact that I feel that same effect myself. So to hear it from somebody who's genuinely never done anything like this ever before, and who I had no input myself on what she would or would not feel, she just genuinely purchased the product from us and felt it herself. I think that says a lot.
Yeah, no doubt. Wow. Incredible. Yeah. So between, all the different products you have right now, I think this is probably has the most monumental, benefits going forward. They, of course, all work together synergistically, but for this one, wow, it's like nothing else out there like this, like you were talking about.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's why I said it's literally the world's first and only once daily oral growth hormone peptide. So, what more can I say? But to add to that, yes. And I do believe going forward that hopefully a lot of more people will start to pick up on the peptides, and especially the combination of the Wolverine peptide, BPC 157, as well as our now MK677 for the synergistic effects on the growth hormone level. So the BPC 157 has been shown in only 3 days to almost 7x your actual growth hormone activation. So your body's ability to actually use and absorb growth hormone. And at the same time, then you've got the MK, which is elevating your body's natural production of growth hormone. So you're covering both your bases because you're getting the activator and the actual pump, if you will, the actual, more growth hormone over time naturally. So you're going to see profound effects. And, personally, I've been doing a lot of research so that I could be well prepared for the show. And it's incredibly profound what growth hormone does in the body. I mean, literally, it is like the youthing hormone in a sense that it helps to reverse the clock, literally, you name it. So, in muscle tissues, it literally goes into the muscle cell itself and actually turns the key to unlocking muscle protein synthesis. And so muscle protein synthesis, right, from eating protein is how we build our muscles. And so literally, this is increasing that key activation, that turn key for muscle growth to even happen.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it's 111 here, so I always like those numbers when they pop up like that. It's like a confirmation type thing. So good stuff. Angels say yay. So.
We're doing it. We're so back.
All right. Yeah. So let's see. Big Eyes whistleblower. My daughter took human growth hormone. They administered this to girls that have Turner syndrome. In some cases, it causes cancer.
Okay, that's a great one. I appreciate him for bringing that up. So that's always going to be a concern, with anything that's influencing the growth repair pathways in the body. Thankfully, though, it's been shown that the MK is very specific to our muscles and our bones as well. So there hasn't been any contraindications of that in any of the studies at all. There's been 2-year studies done in different populations of all ages, both genders, and they saw no cancerous effects, anything like that. Growth hormone itself, again, is when you take an injection, it's boosting your levels to a super physiological level for a short period of time. And so doing that extendedly can definitely impair your body's ability to kind of put the pause on if your body already has cancerous cells. If you currently have cancer, you should not be thinking about taking these products. I'll just put that out there. I'm not a doctor. First off, this is not medical advice. But if that's what's going on, then you've got other tools that you should be looking into, which, some of them we can get into: fulvic acid, humic acid, which are naturally present, found in shilajit. Okay, this has been shown, as well as we can talk about even one of the ingredients in our MK677 product, and this is actually now tying in full circle so beautifully, is it's called Dihydroberberine. And so this is another one. I actually prepared a couple of slides for you guys, so I can pull this up now. I feel like this is the right time to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, right, berberine, I take that separately, so it's nice to see that's pretty much in there. So I'm almost done with my berberine, so I'll just focus on this. It's good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to share some really cool facts about the current form that we use. So it's called dihydroberberine, and a lot of people are touting it as nature's GLP-1. So it's a natural alternative to things like semaglutide or Wegovy, a lot of these new pharmaceutical designer drugs that are coming out for weight loss. But dihydroberberine is actually a 5 times more absorbable form of berberine. So you take berberine itself, and then your body has to break it down in your gut, which not a lot of our guts are able to properly absorb berberine. And then you're left with this dihydroberberine. So the entire goal of taking berberine itself is to get this very end product called dihydroberberine. So we've actually isolated it. And again, this is a first of its kind. It's amongst biohackers, people who are really interested in longevity. They've already been knowing about dihydroberberine. So this is really, berberine's been around forever. And I put in here, it dates back to ancient Chinese medicine to 3000 BC. So it's been used forever. And it's been used mostly for a lot of gastrointestinal infections, you name it, things like dysentery, diarrhea, it's been used traditionally for those things, but now a lot of studies, and I also put in here, have been showing the effects on longevity. So there's more than 600 studies on berberine's effects on cancers. Okay, so 600 studies alone, including breast cancer, gastrointestinal cancers, skin cancer, and liver cancer, and it shows anti-tumor effects across the board. And so I've got a bunch of studies pulled up, but people can go and do their own research. I actually pulled that sentence from a review that looked at over 22 different studies on berberine's effects in the body. So there's also a new study. So there is a lot of research on berberine itself, but then there's now starting to emerge a lot more research on this dihydroberberine, again, because of its effects on GLP-1. So it's very widely used amongst diabetes patients, pre-diabetics, obese patients as well in these studies, because it mimics GLP-1 and also acts very similar to an anti-diabetic drug, which we'll get into as well, which I know a lot of people may be familiar with. So there's actually a study, you can't even access it yet. You actually have to get an NDA to even access it. But I was able to get some details through the cracks. And basically, the study found, and this is done in metabolically compromised individuals. So this is already incredibly profound, and it's working in people who are probably more than likely, like I just mentioned, pre-diabetic, diabetic, or obese. And they found that it naturally increased GLP-1, in which, for people who are not familiar, GLP-1 is actually another peptide that's secreted in the intestines when we eat foods. So after we eat, basically this peptide is then produced to slow down digestive transit, so our body can actually absorb what we're eating and to allow insulin to be secreted by the pancreas. And so dihydroberberine, what it's doing is it's basically increasing that GLP-1, and it actually does so very interestingly because it's actually a very bitter plant. So our body actually has bitter taste receptors. And when they're activated, they actually naturally push up GLP-1 by itself. So you can take, you name it. There's a root called gentian root, which is the most bitter plant in the world. And it greatly produces this GLP-1 like effect. But thankfully, you can actually just take the dihydroberberine in a capsule instead and get a 95% increase in GLP-1 secretion. So what it's doing is it's actually in the pancreas helping to resensitize our body's insulin sensitivity. So when we eat carbs specifically, our bodies need to secrete a certain amount of insulin in order to be able to properly utilize those carbohydrates and so that they don't get stored as fat. But what we see is over time, and especially in those metabolic compromised populations like the pre-diabetics, diabetics, and the obesity, is that their bodies over time, their blood glucose levels are extended over periods of time to where their bodies cannot properly use insulin anymore. And so the dihydroberberine actually resensitizes their bodies, namely in the muscles, so that it can properly absorb carbohydrates again, which is just a crazy, groundbreaking thing. And of course, we're going to talk about too. Again, there's already, you name it, metformin. There's a couple other ones out there that are doing similar things, but this is completely natural and doesn't have those same side effects. So
yeah, that's pretty impressive. So I like the fact, because I've been taking berberine and taurine, and I think you're probably going to talk about taurine. So both of those together have been pretty synergistic, and I think helping me maintain energy and stay healthy and so forth. There's a lot of things like you're putting out that it does. So that's pretty impressive. The dihydroberberine is basically 5 times more absorbable than regular berberine. Wow. And then I think you're probably going to talk about taurine. I don't know, but taurine is in this as well. Mm-hmm. And so I looked at that, the berberine and taurine. And I was like, well, maybe I can do away with both those and take this. And it's not only, yes, I can do that, but it's actually far more beneficial on many different levels. Now, that's interesting. 600 studies, like berberine. That's one of the reasons why I want to take it, because it's anti-cancer type stuff. So I always want to be doing that, especially these days. With a lot of stuff, and plus I'm getting older and all the stuff that's going on. So that's interesting. All of those anti-tumor effects. So you look at normal human growth hormone, and it just activates, everything in your body. So if you did have cancer, it would probably hyper activate, that possibly. So this sounds like it's probably going to negate that and actually maybe defeat it. So what are your thoughts on that?
Mike, that's a great question. Honestly, again, I'm not a doctor, so I don't want to tell people, whether or not they should take this if they have the cancers in their bodies already. But as a preventative measure, and if you're healthy, then there's no reason to be worried in my mind, because especially too, and if this helps people make the jump, is because our dosages of each ingredient is precisely calibrated to exactly minimize all the side effects and give you all the benefits. So most of the time, right, especially used in bodybuilders, growth hormone is used at super physiological levels. That's not good. We know that inherently. It's just like the Tylenol causing autism. People know that already, unless they're just completely delusional. But for our product, what we did is we actually scaled back the dose. So we titrated it down. So it's actually a 2 capsule dose product. So you take 2 capsules 30 minutes before you eat, and it primes your body. And we'll get into more of that. But it basically primes your body to be able to absorb all the nutrients from the food, and also to be able to properly partition the nutrients so that you don't gain fat, and so you actually build muscle instead. And so going back to, again, this study that, again, is not even out yet. It was actually done last July, not this year, but 2024. They found that taking dihydroberberine reduced body fat mass by 27.5%. So that's incredible already. They did see overall reductions in LDL cholesterol, triglycerides. So your blood work is going to be off the charts, as well as 22.7 more fat loss than exercise alone, while simultaneously gaining 15.7 more percent lean muscle tissue from exercising. So overall, this is like the top of the line body recomposition product in my mind. And I can tell you from my personal experience, Mike, and I'm super excited for you to be able to use this over the weeks and coming months because, man, my results. So I started at probably about $165. I was 165 pounds. I honestly have been for a while and was kind of plateaued, stuck at that weight for a while. And literally it felt like overnight, but probably over the course of 60 to 90 days, I actually jumped up to 182 last time I checked. And that was almost coming now full circle over a week ago. So I don't even know what I'd be at now. And that I haven't changed anything in terms of, I'm probably eating a little bit more food to help accommodate that muscle gain. But my workout, my training regimen, my, natural lifestyle has all been the same. And like I mentioned, I was stuck. It felt like at that 165 and totally blew past that and put on, I guess you can't make this up, but I put on 17 pounds. So
Wow. Yeah. So how long have you been on it?
All in all, probably about 3 months now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, whether or not, here's the thing. I mean, obviously I've been training for years. I've literally been training since, probably 6+ years now. And, it's always been extremely tough for me to put on muscle, to put on real mass. I guess muscle comes a little easier for me than fat rather, but just putting on weight. And for me, this literally is completely transformed my physique. I didn't include any pictures this time, maybe next time, but my muscles are much fuller and I am still shredded. So, less than 10% of body fat the whole way through. I haven't ever, gotten bloated. And that's what's beautiful about this formula and why I'm so excited to now be taking this product because, like you mentioned, so it not only comes with dihydroberberine and the growth hormone peptide, which we just got done talking about, but it also includes technically 5, but 3 other really important ingredients, namely taurine. So like you just mentioned, taurine is sold as a supplement on its own. It's incredible for a lot of different things, a number of things, including longevity. Okay, so they've shown it actually extends lifespan, which is incredible. And the reason for that is because our bodies actually, they produce very little amounts of taurine, but taurine naturally is found in animal foods only. So you can only get it exclusively from eating things like, your meats, your dairies, your cheeses, fish. Actually, fish is a great source of taurine as well. And for good reason, because without taurine, our bodies would actually produce 28% less of our body's ATP, which is the energy currency of all of our cells. So without taurine, our energy levels plummet across the board. And so we've included taurine not only for that energy boosting effect, but also because of its effects on helping to foster more muscle growth. So it's incredible for more muscle recovery. It helps with collagen production as well. So it's really great for the skin. It's also really good for antioxidant. It's extremely powerful again on cancers. It's one of those things that has a full spectrum of broad spanning effects across the entire body. And we decided to put it in specifically for its effects on intercellular hydration. So a lot of times, and Mike, I'm sure you can attest to this, but when you're gaining muscle or you're putting on size, you tend to get bloated. That's a common effect. People put on water weight, So taurine actually helps to minimize that. And another incredible one for the water retention and helping to reduce any sort of bloating, ironically, is creatine, which a lot of people would say, well, doesn't creatine actually increase water retention? Well, it actually increases intercellular water retention in our muscles. So it's helping to pull water into our muscles for a more fuller look. So at first, maybe, you might notice a little bit more muscle fullness and roundness, but that's good. That's what you want. And so the taurine is going to help complement that, as well as too, taurine on its own, again, has so many benefits. So really cool effects there across the board. And then you've also got magnesium glycinate. Okay. Magnesium on its own, again, it's one of those nutrients. Scientists have actually shown in AI simulated models that the number one most important cofactor in energy in our bodies is magnesium. So ATP, our body's main energy currency, is actually created from magnesium. So without that, you don't have energy. Okay, so those are two things already. Taurine and the magnesium right there, going to help with cellular energy production. And on top of that, they actually synergize nicely for the brain. They help with sleep tremendously. So for either men or women, you should be taking magnesium. 80% of the population's deficient, and that's large in part thanks to the glyphosate in all the food and all of the other toxins as well that we're being exposed to deplete magnesium because, again, our cells, it's so crucial for our cells to create our energy. And on top of that, too, it is one of our body's main electrolytes, okay, which goes hand in hand with creating energy. Electrolytes, electricity, we are electrical beings. Our bodies use electricity to create our energy. And magnesium actually helps, again, with water retention, okay? So that's really the goal here, is to, again, maximize as much muscle growth as possible, but decrease the bloating effects, decrease, the bulkiness. So, both men and women can take this. And truly, that's what I believe we're going to see more of is instead of leaning on things like growth hormone injections, turning more to things like peptides, also too, I mean, the price difference it's substantial. Getting your hands on growth hormone alone, you have to get it from a doctor, and I wouldn't trust any other source personally. By any means, you gotta make sure you know what you're getting. But when it comes to what we've got here, it's actually third-party lab tested, so you don't have to worry. It's made in the U.S., so all of our products, for the most part, aside from the Shilajit, which naturally has to get extracted from the Siberian mountains of Russia, actually, are all made in the U.S. So there's no, funny business there, and everything's lab tested. It's all very transparent. We're waiting back on the lab test results for this one, but we've got the ones for all of our other products, including the BPC 157. So we're very confident already. We know pretty much for a fact already that this is going to be the purest you can possibly get. But just to, again, for transparency's sake, for people to be able to see and actually, just again, for that, to build that trust with people, because listen, I didn't get into this for the money. Okay. I wanted to do this because I wanted to make things that I actually could take myself and give to my friends and my family. And honestly, there's nothing else out there like what we're doing when it comes to lab testing, when it comes to overall product formulation, when it comes to the synergistic ingredients. People can go to our website and they can see for themselves, all the different testimonies, which I did want to pull up because I feel like I don't do this enough, but really cool stuff here. So, I just want to read a couple testimonies, and this is actually for our Shilajit product, which I really want people to use it in combination with both MK677 and the BPC 157. Really, you should be taking it all, just because I look at the Shilajit, the creatine, and the collagen more so as foods, and then you've got the peptides to top it off. So it's really like that cherry on top, if you will. But so the Shilajit here, I'll read. This is Diane. This is from the 17th of August here, 5 stars. She said, "My adult family has all been taking Shilajit now. We all feel better. Some of the more tangible improvements for me are stronger nails and healthier hair, along with an increase in energy." And then she said, "Thank you for giving us the opportunity to use such a high quality product again." So boom, the quality there, you can tell. The tablets themselves are extremely pure. No need to, worry about any sort of like heavy metal contamination. I know we've had a couple people reach out to us and ask because, somebody they listened to told them that, hey, you should be testing for this or that or the other. We do all of that and then some. So we've tested both dual lab test panels. We've done all the tests that you can do for Shilajit, and we're actually getting ready to do some new ones here I'll read another one quick. So Optimum Shilajit has truly exceeded my expectations. The quality is top tier and the customer service matches it. Responsive, supportive, and knowledgeable. I've found it especially helpful for electrolyte balance, which has been a real game changer for me. So there you go. I also give it to my horses and dog, and they're thriving on it as well.
Oh, that's good.
So cool. So, it's good for all animals. He's not the only person who's told me. I also have a customer on who, he himself is a high performer. He trains jujitsu. He's working out all the time. The guy's beast, and he actually gives it to his, I want to say 1-year-old. He dilutes it first into like a water bottle and then actually basically just, lets the baby drink, and naturally the baby loves it. So that's super cool too. And it's so beneficial. There's no reason for anybody to be concerned or worried or anything, because Shilajit is completely natural. This is literally one of the only sources of carbon-60 on the planet. So it's extremely potent antioxidants and over 80 plus trace minerals that, again, for electrolyte balance are a real game changer. And as Raymond says here, he also agrees and highly recommends. And, so I could keep going. There's so many. Of course, Mike, like literally, dude, I couldn't do this without you. So like truly forever grateful. And, I think about it all the time, just like how awesome. And I tell people like doing these shows is, and just, just being able to share information is powerful, I think. So I really hope that people, are tuning in and tapping in. And of course too, like this is all just to complement your lifestyle. And I always tell people too, like, like Raymond said, I respond to every question I get in our inbox, and myself personally. And I always, go the extra mile to like really kind of dig into, where people are at, kind of get some information. I don't personally offer health coaching. I probably will soon, but so it's one of those things where like none of this is going to replace high quality nutrition. First off, sunlight, getting enough sunlight. I think not enough people are truly getting, unrestricted sunlight without sunblock, without sunscreen, which we could do a whole show on that. Probably should at some point, but, so for a number of reasons, I'm not saying that these are going to absolutely be the end all be all, but I think if you're already on the path, of holistic lifestyle and natural diet and training and all that stuff, and, making sure that you're getting out in tune with nature and touching the earth with your bare feet, and exposing as much of your body as possible to the sun, being responsible, of course, not just, going willy-nilly, but actually maybe even using a peptide like I do. I use a peptide for my skin, increases my melanin naturally again. So a lot of mind-blowing things out there for people. And this is truly just the beginning. I still have, a job that I work and do this at the same time. And it's just really awesome to be able to now kind of have a little product line here for people to really, get into, try it out for themselves. We've got new people ordering from us all the time. Again, thanks in part to these shows. It's literally, truly, changed my life. And I hope it's doing good for other people too. So I know that was kind of a long-winded thing, but
no,
really
good.
appreciate you, Mike. So
you're
just even seeing this right now, and I know we're live, but it's like, it's nuts, dude. It's literally awesome. So it's completely, I'll always have the I guess like the love, so yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Somebody asked, what do I take? And I take everything. So that you guys offer. I think it's all, fantastic. So I don't think that we're going to find anything at these prices where you're not, because, you would pay. I think the bodybuilders that I remember them talking about how they would pay for the human growth hormone, like $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
Just insane. So, and you got to get a doctor to give it to you. And, I don't know what kind of doctors were like injecting those like monsters in bodybuilding, but you know,
Yeah, got to be a big
it
needle.
doesn't last either, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it's just it comes and it goes. You know, it's gone as quick as you get it. Seems like, I don't know. You know, thankfully I knew about peptides before I ever got into you know, all that stuff. But yeah, so you know, people can go. There should be a link somewhere in the description box. They can go. Of course, use code Jaco at checkout. That's JACO, all caps, for 10% off. On top of, you can get, you know, so we've got deals going right now. So one bottle, $90. That's before any discount. Which honestly, with the ingredients in it alone, I mean, you can replace a couple of your supplements with it, which is nice.
That's good.
You know, and like you just mentioned, literally to get your hands on actual real, like the real deal pharmaceutical grade growth hormone would be thousands of dollars. Even just to get a different injectable peptide that also increases growth hormone is almost double the cost. You know, I've tried them.
Injectable hormones, they're all like way more expensive.
Yeah, they're not even close to this. So honestly, like I almost felt bad. They don't
perform as well as like, you know, what you're talking about. It's great.
No, literally. And thank you for saying that, honestly, because I almost felt bad putting it up for 90, but I'm like, honestly, like these are not cheap to make. And like at that price, again, people don't even know what they don't know, that these peptides can get really expensive. So I personally spent on one product alone for several months in a row, I spent $325. And that was actually, you know, a great investment in my eyes. But so something like this, where you can get 3 bottles, 15% off for $230. I mean, that's, you know, that's a whole cycle right there. You can completely change your physique with this product. So obviously results are going to vary. If your training and nutrition isn't dialed in, results are going to really just come down to how intentional you are with it. But so I really think we should hit on, though, how to take it, when to take it. So I've literally messed around with this MK677 peptide now for several months. And personally, I've tried it at morning, midday, afternoon, evening, before bed, different dosages, high dosages, low dosages, micro doses. And I came to the conclusion that the 12.5 milligrams that we include in the one serving, so that's 2 capsules, is the perfect amount to get that growth hormone effect. Which again, I mean, there's studies on, you know, 18-year-olds all the way up to 70-year-olds, where basically after 8 weeks, only 8 weeks, no different diet, training, all that, over 6 pounds of muscle gain, reduced fat, massive body recomposition effects. Granted, that's a study, but that's honestly the best evidence we've got. Well, I would say my best evidence is my personal testimony, gaining over 15 pounds with it myself. But, you know, so when I say results can vary, honestly, if you're taking this thing every day, you're not going to really, like, you know, just not have, you know, any sort of, you know, I don't want people to think that this is just going to be a cure-all or, you know, exercise in a pill, but it really kind of can be if you're smart with it. So, take 2 capsules personally, 30 minutes before your dinner or, you know, supper. I'm from Iowa, so we called it supper, you know, and, personally what I do is I usually hit the gym about 5 o'clock. And that's actually for me, what works out to be most of the time, the best time for me with my work schedule and all that stuff. But it's also too a great time because your body naturally produces the most testosterone at about 5 p.m. So I try to hit the gym at 5 p.m., you know, maybe do an hour there. And then I'll take the peptide, the growth hormone peptide, immediately after working out and about 15 to 20 minutes before my post-workout meal. So instead of like a full-on dinner, I'll probably just do like a couple eggs and then like a big glass of raw milk with some collagen, of course, and then also some creatine as well to really help with that muscle protein synthesis again. And for some reason, that's just literally been the cheat code for me to just unlimited muscle gain. And I can't seem to gain an ounce of fat. So it's great. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's very good. So yeah, we're getting good results from all the products. So we're very happy with it. We're glad to get this the MK677. That's I always wanted to try that, but I never wanted to go through that. I hate injections. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
and so that's why I love these peptides, because I was like, God, the peptides are the best thing. So I tried injections for a while. I was like, screw it. But they were very, very, very effective. So it was kind of hard to give them up. So I'm glad that you have a peptide that's you can take orally, and it will, not get broken down in the gut. It actually, gets to your system. That's impressive right there, because most, medications, most, oral, stuff you put in your body, goes into gut. Only a fraction of that actually gets absorbed. So this is different, and it's actually helping the gut at the same time.
Massively. And that's such a great point you bring up too, because there's actually one ingredient that I left out, which is called estrogen. And so for people who aren't familiar with our products, we actually use it also in the BPC product, because estrogen has been clinically shown to actually help to increase, peptide absorption, but also herbal absorption too, from things like berberine again. So it's also been shown to help protect against any sort of GI stress, so any sort of upset stomach. So on top of getting increased mineral absorption as well too. So if you take our Shilajit product, it's going to enhance the absorption even greater due to all the active chemical constituents found in Shilajit. But then you combine that with, again, you've got the magnesium, the potassium, which we didn't even hit on, with the taurine too, which taurine in the body actually helps to help assimilate other amino acids. So it's all synergistically working together to enhance the absorption of each other. That's why I put on the website, we have a synergistic formula. It all works together. And I take all these things on a daily basis. So, for me personally, I've had profound effects from these things, which is why, I chose to start a company and do this. And I just, honestly, I think people are going to notice hopefully a good beneficial effect.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's good stuff.
Thank you.
We've been on it for, several months now, from the start. And it's
man.
Yeah, we do. It's not a lot of stuff that we do, over time, but we're sticking with this. We're having great results. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Means a lot.
Yeah. So, that's why we like to share it. We only share stuff that's good. Right. And if it didn't work, we definitely wouldn't be out here like talking about it. But you keep coming out with great stuff like that. So I'm almost like, oh, what is next? You've actually said there's more. So can you give us a tease for the next?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I like this. This is fun.
Yeah, me too.
It's the best part. What's next? I do want to share though, because I actually, shout out, Tracy Jaco. I felt it'd be good to name drop her because she actually asked me a great question. She asked me about the effects of metformin and, just what my thoughts were. And, I actually put together this little slide here for people too. And I was actually going to talk about it already. So it just made even more sense to bring it up, I guess. But so dihydroberberine, really berberine, as we continue to see more studies come out on dihydroberberine, comparing its effects to the anti-diabetic drug metformin, we'll continue to see it outperform it timelessly. So there's actually a meta-analysis of 46 clinical studies involving over 4,000 people with type 2 diabetes that found that berberine and metformin were equally effective at lowering blood glucose, but that berberine showed better effects on your HbA1c, your fasting plasma glucose, and your 2-hour plasma glucose. So over time, and we can see here, so this graph here on the left where it says berberine monotherapy basically just means only using berberine. And then we've got the metformin only group too. We can see that these charts are almost identical, but if you actually look at the numbers, the berberine has faster effects and for longer. So you don't see this tail end spike after the 13th week mark, it looks like with metformin, you actually see a continued decrease in your blood glucose levels over time. So, without getting too sciencey, really, it's honestly beneficial to take them both, but the dihydroberberine naturally in our MK677 products is really going to help, with weight loss, as we just mentioned as well. And also, too, metformin is commonly used to actually fight cancer. It's been shown to help to arrest cancer cells up to 30% just from taking this anti-diabetic drug, which we know is not actually a drug. It's actually a plant extract, and a lot of these pharmaceuticals are. They just don't tell you that. It actually comes from the French lilac, which is unbelievable. The berberine plant itself, again, it's been used for 5,000 plus years, since 3000 BC. And it comes from a little berry that hangs off a tree. It's kind of amazing. But so there you go. It's outperforming metformin already. We're going to continue to see more research on its weight loss effects, because with all the side effects that are known with these GLP-1s, turning to more natural alternatives like berberine, and especially now these super advanced forms of berberine, like those that have been used now from, biohackers all over the place, coming out with dihydroberberine. There's liposomal forms of berberine. So to kind of tie it back though, what's next? I'm actually having a conversation today with one of the leading doctors in this space of peptides and oral delivery systems. So, hopefully we'll continue to see increased absorption from oral peptide products, and we hope to be on the front end of that. So, well, we are, but, just to continue coming out with at some point, obviously, I want to be, like the brand for oral versions of these amazing peptides. So you got the BPCs, you got the GHKs, the copper peptide. You've also got other really cool ones too out there, which, the KPV is another one too. 5-amino-1-MQ. When we did our show, actually, that was one of the ones I told people I've personally used and had incredible effects too, at helping to shred down even more, even lower body fat, and even better body composition effects, increased energy levels, longevity, anti-aging, all of it. So we're also thinking about getting into, not just for the ladies, but for both men and women, skincare peptides too. So that's, I feel like, a huge untapped market, because you've got people who sell peptides, but they're full of, how should I say, junk ingredients besides the peptides. So I don't want to be putting that on my skin. Then you've got natural ingredients like the beef tallows of the world, which I personally am a huge fan of: the coconut oil, the jojoba oil, the castor oil, the manuka honeys out there, all that stuff, incredible for skincare. But you got to kind of, buy one of each, I guess, when really we could just combine both. So truly, that's what's probably going to be coming next for people, just so they can get a glimpse. So, but yeah, anybody who hasn't already checked us out, definitely go, check us out. Get on the MK677, purchase some Shilajit, try it out. That's our best-selling product. We've got now coming up on over 100 reviews in total, but specifically just for the Shilajit alone, almost 100 reviews. People are buying it. It's awesome. You can subscribe to this product and save 20% off. Take it with the MK677, the BPC, for massive muscle enhancement effects. There was actually another study that just came out this year on Shilajit, again showing its effects to increase testosterone levels in both men and women. And in women, it's also been shown, across the board for both men and women, but in women specifically, it was shown to increase progesterone and also estrogen. Which is very important as well for not only women, but also for men, which it was shown to do as well. And that study actually showed that it boosted testosterone levels by up to 52%. So just another reason to keep taking it, because it does just seem to have something really magical and very strong effects for increasing hormones and vitality as well. So it's one of those where you're definitely not going to notice it maybe the first time you take it, but as the weeks, a week, maybe 2 weeks, especially, once you hit the 90-day mark, for most people at least, that's where really cool things start to happen. That's where you start to see these compounding effects, which of course over time we know just keep on keeping on, I guess. So yeah, but that's pretty much all I got.
All right, fantastic.
Yeah.
And so people find the links, but what's liveoptimum.com?
Yeah. So it's like the word live, optimum. So OPTIMUM, and then it's .co. So liveoptimum.co. So people can go check it out.
Right on.
Use code Jaco. Use code Jaco and save. Don't forget.
That's right. Save 10%. Use that savings to buy more.
That's right. Absolutely. There we go, Mike. Thank you as always, man. You're the best.
All right, Noah, it's been a pleasure. Great stuff. Keep it coming. We love it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.